emirimo ryoka magega y'umuraibense Dr. William Samuel Ruto ko batenenia imirimo abawaziri kurasa serikali ya Kenya kwanza nigo ritkoria rero Inspector General bw'abanyanyimbo Jafet Kome abakawetigia emirimo asinonya nabo Douglas Kanja uyo konyeure omokonyi bo Inspector General abere kago chorwa ko ba Inspector General ntenera wekachinga ki obora yo na yuse amaunchorerio gose omo Inspector General arabe kago chorwa bene na korariwa uchako bokoreri bwaye imeyense ya Kenya mwancho muri eritkorigi ya ijume kerongwege na unaritkoria uri abere ritoerukengma na monoko abere go kwegokya asokubwatia emerobere yonse gataseni kya Ndizi TV na bwo obwansu bwo mugusi yaragire Ensa Eyemo yabona margo bachinga kingo kwariganya SMS Amayia ngomanye buna nara ya kubwatira nabariki baito twabere togo sangerera seritkorigi makuru waga kietego ikabono asenchera ereyo bwikiranu korende chinga kie chigati gatoranyore gatiari ngwariganirete asenchera ereyo bwinge
factory yiri kwa ndravia ekera twatene ndokore gas ige bintu bya balemi na birasare kikera aba director batene niwe mbaso office
aba director bachore bekemeriye chaime county ya Nyamira go ichanire kina kyo gotene niyo gotiani wa kwabo
tigatubwaterane tosomya abana baito erinde mambia abana aba bache ko babagambi bache ko abantu abanene asibinyoro bito naende bache ko tokonya
omo MCA we wadi Yesusu Antonio Ngundi ko bori ko bwaterane rero sira kisemi cinga kya bwato kachi basari ya sabaro ki wa form 1 na boigo chiskuru cyo bobundia
achora abantu bagiye zukuru naande notona bagiye zukuru bagiye nabara bezukuru kole professor lakini tokote byo mufarume munangitiri andale
omurai wense William Ruto ko bori wakoira cinga kera chiko bachora abawaziri ryo koenekia bunambali abarikiranye mireme miya yo kugenderera Ensa ya Kenya ayo munaenda mango mwancho muringo kwariganya senchera bene ryo ngumanya senchera ere yobekira nugendera gotonyora sensemo ya Facebook wetra Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube watonyora wetra Ndizi TV News na bwegase website ito na bokoya soma wetra www.ndizitv.net eryo togendere gusanga asubwamo eritriane Everlyne Osero Lydia Mose tokubwatira na sensemo yebimenyerero na bwigo Petronira mukeira nero koineke ya chibicha neryo gicha wekere asenchera ya bene okwarigana tuchaka Amayia Ensa yamasobwekira kurwa se county ya Nyamira ase magega yo konyoro chika kurwa se kegambero litkoregoro kuganyo muroberio wogotiani wa kwaba director bekmeriye cha bagochora bangwega goteraniwa nigo litkoria rero higati aba director kurwa se chief factory au gati abe factory ya Sanganyi Gyanchore kebiri gotombe nabo igo nyanko baba wesokya na komochia egati abari ababete bakubeka ekinekyo asokwamereria ogotiani wa kwabo na otababuna nigo murobero yoracu gotenenia obokoreri ase chief factory nabo igo emirobire menge egati ababwatani nigo babete bakubeke kinekyo asokwamereria ago kwamereria bochori obwabete bakorekana na watana nigo botakorekanete asenjera ere yakene nabo igo obwasyoku roboti rwasobikirano nigo twarganira no muri kyoito job mangi
aba director babete bagochorwa asobochori wabalimi bekemerige chaime county Nyamira nigo baichaneire kina kebekire bosibe kegambero anene moneke abere gotenenia ogotiani wa kwabo asibagoteba nigo konyora babere bagutumenga chibesa kwarigania emeroberi yoko batiania nako basoya abisi
budget yoka twabwatere HM yari almost 600,000 and most factories almost Johnson ine budget babwata ya over 600,000 nandi kibasi kinde chiakanirwe ko chia saving tebe ine besa yo mulimi ya sirire let's say 600 times 6 factories and 3.6 million chia sirire bosaiba cyo mulimi kitarenga ucha gusira
bagosanga nabaliki bamangana Amayia nigo baichanera asengencho nige bine birachkwirero gotume ko kibesa kinyinge cyo mulimi ko bigamba nabo igo turubania emeroberio ase chi factory
igento ya kabere bono factory yiri kwa ndravia ekera twatene ndokore gas ige bintu bya balemi na birasare kikera aba director batene niwe mbaso office igorende aina haro twara ko batebya mo bawaya ende mo amanyese bintu bino bitigarete
out of 45 aba wakiri bakwana kaba hired mpaka wa less 10 abawakiri 10 wakeri times kiro mawakiri anyore nusu million manyaga nango tugutatore saidi ya shilingi milioni 5
bakora uno munyakerogo we factory ya Nchore Thomas Nyandieka omunyakerogo we factory ya Sanganyi Vincent Atei na ba director bande nigo bateba nigo bachori bwabete bokorwa asenchera yobwasyo kuno bwene
lakini ntu akore to bachori obya kera IPC kiombe kigenu na kia tokoleti
like my factory aba SD bachoretwe batatu yetu bata ba SD batatu nechi kanise chinde batatu which means YCD embaling affected in any way.
Na inda IPC ya kitene buya mono na bamentu bakiri gukwana. Ebese tutagete kurira koranga bese yo muri mitira kiasara. Chikura kino chiaerete. Nyore no Mose tabuyeka Onyamira County na ketaga ka no YCD na agete kura chima Mose. Na bali tware komono kanji candidate njagete kura
mbasaba ababwatani babekire ebina asekoti kubirusi alinde ko omulemi chinga kekinyororo ekerago kora obolemi bwaye
njengo saba nyole mbere babege tororo tiango batumeke barango omulemi ochanekire Kenya matukamande igo ntonya subject omulemi amatukonse rongo kora batebanga ebina mbiri bya na mbyo konya kende abigonya kolento bwa mate butari buya tebo bwatu kebinte ebyo andi mpa konyara na bairana
akubuli bali baito the losers atanyorete chance yo ku win there is still another day igolende igobale bwanchanga ebina is not a solution onye kwabwetwe at least there is still another time kiara miaka 3 megento kosa nayo soigeti nyasawo kubwatsi nokubanga lakini kuna kugenda court is wasting the farmers money wasting kinoneki za chiao so bongo basabanga wangetoyo cases kotini
Ginko reporter ya Ndizi TV Job Maangi
Mbia mwana omuriketo Job Maangi asorobo tiororo ikirano korwase county yo ya Nyamira togosika bosio nigo ababwatani ao nabo igo abanainchi bagenderete gusanga ibirengerero byabo kubwatkana nege tambukiro cy'umurayi wense Dr. William Samuel Ruto yoko bakayisiko abawaziri korwase serikali yaye nege tambukiro cyabirege kwego koboko negati yabarayi bechi kanisa korwase county ya Kisii abwanene baruro kubori yago cya Seruto kweneki abunango irare cinga cyabene nagochora abarayi abaronke abo bara beba kubwenera sekiro gekyo waziri asoko ine kiabuna ngo ikirane bare emeremo asenchire bwenrate asekirenga kyogoskia ense ya Kenya busyo muriketo diponasanya namaki.
I have today decided to dismiss with immediate effect all the cabinet secretaries and attorney general of the Republic of Kenya, of the cabinet of Kenya.
Omurai wense ya Kenya Dr. William Samuel Ruto ni gairanirigwe mbuya mono asogutigia abawaziri be serikali anene mirimo litukoria igoro abwe asabara ikurwa gusi gati yabo uyo politikiro kyovuga banemeye county ya Kisii Bishop Dr. Josiah Nyanja no murwanereri boboronge no bwana bomanyabantu Bishop Nomeri Mumanyi basanga yaiga
umu president ito umushimiwa Daktari William Samuel Ruto igakora tegentekia no nyonyoretwe ganyoretwe kangekene genta akorete like last year hae valende okolire ntoko ogete nere mono kuna njengo ogete mono kiarake na akulire nga abantu achorete
yongora mupongeza rais igenta korete igente kakorete una nchi ndatebe igatumigete ability ya understanding ne ability ya wisdom
chinga kecho nigo murai wense aborigwe kuira chinga kichaye chingia chabene elio anyale gochora abarai bagwenerete asebirogo ao
na kwani ni social media giti bikire radio lakini mbali koiwa tukumwagera ngambu ya mono lakini ta yerera unatebete akore consultative abantu aho gochora bakungu n'abasaja n'abamurabake achora abantu bachiete sukuru nandi notona ne bachiete sukuru nabara be sukuru kole professor lakini tokotebya omufarume munangitiria ndale omonto okomotebinga aiga yo excellence ambobole
abantu bako pretend koba abasani be president lakini baraba bisa asengijo bako moenefi nje naye kotebega muraria onyo kolete genteke asik deeper consolidation achana abantu bakoreta image ase abo cabinet secretary
ensemo nokomo okoboko nigo boigo baba bakomomochia
president nakiagerta katuba bandi bakagendaka lakini namo jetiko gosake ekero aseretie Attorney General with that conscience, he should have not also remained Musale Mudavadi was to go because Mudavadi igabwata ofisi etali constitutional.
Komenta na ywe nigo basegete kyombe kya basaigia agency kogendera no moyo yuhi ilibo bagonchurulia oborai bwense ya Kenya.
Na abana babaita bakemwe gulina na batogia bono yendera busyo mugaze mumutiga mugaze kabisa bakakole bina totagete
yikuripoteri yange tasenikia onambe Eyemo Ndizi TV kurubo katakatibu mu Kibosongo elitera nenkoro kwa Dipon asanya
Miyamuno muriketo dipona sanya se orobo tyururikiranu ase chingakie choni gaba Kenya baganyerete kigima eri kumanya bunange tamkiro kige kubwati amagega yo wakwa isiko kwaba waziri abo asinonya nabo bagenderete gusanga ebirengerero byabo nakogikiria ogoti wabisi kumonene baba waziri Musalia Mudavadi na monokugani Murai Ruto kweneki abunangochorare abarai abo baramokonye asogoskia Ensa ya Kenya busyo muriketo Josephat Amisi norobo tyuru asubime
Lituko elimorioka magiga y'umurai bwense Daktari William Ruto kubaterania mirimo abawaziri bonsi ase serikali yaye nigo litko legoro achagete ngwana yaye nakoera egatiye bitambukiro ya serikali ya Kenya kwanza yanyalire ko bageko kora gati yabo kwenekia buna yanyalire ko bageko gwelia amaguri y'ebintu ao.
We have achieved significant progress in increasing food production by reducing the cost of farm inputs, thereby lowering the cost of food and lowering the cost of living. We have stabilized the economy by preventing what was an imminent debt default.
Chingaki echechoni go William Ruto boiganyarete ko bagakorera buna ase sekta y'ichisemi nige serikali ya Kenya kwanza yanyale ko bage komenta ekerengo g'ikibesa gukiase kiganja kilikia help buna enchira Eyemo yogosira abana kurwase mechiri metaka banyale ko baba kwenyorera chisemi ase semelia ye university.
A new student-focused higher education funding model that has special emphasis on making sure that children from vulnerable families have the requisite support in their education. We have also improved the student-teacher ratio in both our primary and secondary schools by hiring an additional 56,000 teachers and also hiring an additional 2,000 tutors for our TVET institutions.
Inde asensemo yagatatu yengwana yaye William Ruto agasoa asengana iyarengendi tokegima.
To dismiss with immediate effect all the cabinet secretaries and Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, of the Cabinet of Kenya, except the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs, and of course, the office of the Deputy President is not affected in any way.
Okuterenirwa kwa waziri emiremorigo kwanyale ko bago gusangiria birengerero uyo bwango igano mweshimiwa Haruna Buga uyo nyale ko baga kwarigania egetambukiro k'umurai bwense asatebire n'enchira Eyemo yokorobelia serikali nyale ko bayo ikirania amagano y'Abakenya.
I support this and going forward abarai bandi bonsi bibachoriro tiabakorega hasi yabo eri batakira okora, and I will advise our president this way. Onyo gochocho chimensa chinde bona iga tabasa kochora politicians for those posts. On the make CS, tigabe professional. And we want young people abaka tiwara agenda kana tetenga on the ones who miaka 60 kuchigoro akoreki agenda nka iko we expect him to live by his words.
Chingaki echeche ni garo ni abuga anyarekoba komubulyo muraibwense anyarekoba gusuka ase gitambukiro kende nabo yoko yabune bunge elio ense ya Kenya anyarekoba gekwirana ase obochori
and tigabune na bunge. That's what I'm also hoping for, so that even our MPs we can have the right people who can run this country properly.
Maiso amange yaba Kenya bono nigo aligiretia senyomba yobra ya State House isi yobra ibwaye Daktari William Ruto nange tambukiro kiara chikoba gakoira nabo yigo kubareta abawaziri abaya asechia bisi elio kwene kiabu na agenda ya bottom up yanyarekoba gego ikiraniwa kuripotiri gataseni kia Ndizi TV eliterane Josephat Hamisi.
Miamono muriketo Josephat Hamisi ase orobo tiororo ikirano ayo kagendrete bo igo monsoni go gendrete kwene kiwase aba Kenya ase gatia bamenyi korwa ase county ya Kisii anene me mu Kibosongo nabarababere bagusanga ebirengerero babo kubatkana nege tambukire kyo wakwa isiko kwaba waziri ase gatia babere bagokera natana nege tambukire kia egekogera aba waziri abangeti barenge gwikirana imirimo yabo asenchera ebwenerete nabono nigo bamuganira umurayibwese Dr. William Samuel Ruto kogendera kubekemero mekiranu yoko inekiabuna oborai mese ya Kenya bwabeire bokoba asarunge asekirenga yokoreta amagendero ase ense ya Kenya. Elizabeth Nyabuto norobotiuru
abamenyi be county ya Kisii nigo basange birengerero byabo igoro igetambukiro cy'umurai bwense William Ruto ko barusia bisi abawaziri baye bonsi magiga yokorobekana kwene kigwa kwemurunganiria amangana au
ase umurai bwense ndakora timu ngwa asu wake cabinet those bisco ase vijana bono inde binyora liba kana bro kubikora ke so bona bantu baratigarete batatoro uyore musali mutabati nisi nonyo Osero itoka bono nerege ndikujya iri tulo kijabo era verisi
Gente que también agora tempo dissolve o cabinet, que não tem que muito sana. Assim mesmo, o cabinet tem era o ya musali.
Ane kumba kredinga, akorte que tem que essa barba aba 6 igual. Porque gente engasele.
Nigo baba okoboko ekigorikia basagia Ndizi asokorobekana ko kwagera umurai bwense ko bategerera.
Ndizi abantu bijana babyamindo bono mugokira bono I want to congratulate you sana. We want to appreciate your work because mwana kiribona mwaroge president inga emiremo abantu kwana ereye bwendo ko ngende ndani congratulate Ensa class baba tulingia ingere gusto president yetu kumanyanga nkiabanta kwenye urali kilende sengende bamustuete anyate kuyike cabinet bono deteche change.
Boigo nigo bamusaba Ruto korigereria mama mboga nabo sae bunariete eira chinga kyari koriga chikura.
Ya kabiri. Ekana ya point na ande buya cabinet yae. Make sure include mama mboga ni. Wike vijana adisi na hizo vijana tutie kwa anajua msitu hapo ndio tupige si hapa hivi yes. Tutabu asitaka toka kwa experience hiyo au nyanto kwa.
Ai. Bato bosabanye ndi yarenge buya. Umwana inchi nero okobegete kerugeke nandi umanye nkubwe neto bakorere orangeria abagaka bari barabeire oburai mukwanera manganaya ngakimogo konye Kenya.
Ingo reporter ya Ndizi TV ninche Elizabeth Nyabuto.
Miamono muriketo Elizabeth Nyabutase orobo tioruru kiranwa sentra ya moyo gosira chisemi mense ya Kenya nigo omo MCA wensemo ya Gesusu Anthony Nkundi itkorera bagakora omuroberio bwoko bwatoka Chibasari gochase abaroki wa form 1 nabo igo abaria bed school chobo bundi go kwana chinga kecho onguri niga bagatana na chikogenderera kwene kiabuna obeire gakobasa mustari mutwe bwokorera buna mangana isemi abere kago kinwa ase wodi yo basabaga kuboria abaibori koenekia buna ngubwatirana bale na gusira abana babo kugenderera n'ekisemi nigaenekia buna nigo barachie kugendera kubwatirana n'umugabana we county ya Kisii Paul Simbarati asokorera buna amagendero aberega kororokana ase eward eyo
especially asense moye basari basari amaene bune county gwikira bone mitinye ye 20 twakorera mirimo twatemere sana basari ye kurumega nja kabeiroro lakini ekere twatwaro mugabana muya na into baraya batu achore tukabeke mitwamo tukairanie basari eri ya rusetigwo wono mona inchi agokerete nga emirimo yo mugabana amona ba MC bali twachorunga mbuya turi asaba na inchi twarure basari basari yenenke naende nimanyete basari nabweta akonye gukora school fees eri regali intwe igotoko sira sinini naende gotoko bachi besa asengencho yo gusira tigatubwaterane tosomya abana baito erinde mambia abana aba bache ko babagambi bache ko abantu abanene asebinyoro bito naende bache ko tokonya igorende ntogendere kurwe basari ene yakabere twarure ya gatatu nero ya kane amone ya gatano ka kira toko chiko kore tamu yaitu igondoche nga okubwatarana no mugabana tu Paul Simbarati ndoche kwaletera matunda maya mu especially no nyamagendrando nsipi chipara gesusu igemesete amache ndoche nga tuwachakira kole matwale mira amache buya abantu baito babwato magoko igorende amagendro tunyarengereti naende tunyabegeta ase maongaito chira chiritu aliete tutatimiza na wananchi tukisonga mbele
ase chinga kieche gati abaibuli abo anene bakuru ase chinga kitari kwenyara baba wesoke nako nyora chiche kiecho chechi basari ase aboroki babo nigo baba kogokera egetamkire kyo na wakangambia mono gochase omwemsio yo na bayigo mugavana be county ya Kisii Simbarati ase okubasira na otayona nigo bawetera chinga kingongu ase okonyora chibesa cyokubakanira abana babo ase chiskuru na otayabuna nigo bono babere bagokonya kamono ase balireira yogo chakwenekya kubeko mukya kwenekya buna abana babo babere bagokorya bya ase chiskuru
mwesimi wito nale ogwirana lingambia mono kiagera nandekera na apply to mwana form 2 nanyorete nande next round no turamo naye asa kubwatisi nandogendera gotokonya ntimbwata abana batatu oyo mali college oyo ndi form 2 no yo form 1 nyasa itigagusenyo gendera gotokonya butambi
onyaje kwabaga gotokonya buna intu abutorense tianya sa Mose asa gutacha abagima bwaye bogenderere nanda tokonye rinde
ngwereneria omwimsi yoito mbiamono sengenjanya reko baga consider konga epaseri pamoja na our excellence governor Simbarati awira ni nambiamono ende ankyo kandi
omwimsi yoito egasi bwa kolege suwoti yere ngiamono warendire chibasari chitarengo kororekana charorekanire igotwakoire opongesiana na Simbarati Mose niwe ane mogendere momentu emyaka yende egoyerubutu
omuroberi obuno yobo igobo kubatuka chich basari nigo bagokenekiwa ase ewodi ya Masige West kurawa no mwemsi wodi yo Jacob Bagaka oyo baga kuri gakoenekeria abami bechinseme cyobuna machira cyonsi kirabetega kubaliera chinga kicho kwerigeria chikura nigara chikwenekia buna cyabere chigo ikirana ase osemo ya magendro nigabaga kuboria okubwatrana komenyi bechinseme cyo ase okoreta magendro ase wodi yo ya Masige West
igasa mahokane igombwate chicheki abana 307 bako ganda secondary form 1 chicheki cyabona chikoteki no chira abana 44 bako ganda sengenjo kora chikosi cha mahoko eita Gionse Vocational Training College guse urugale umwana wamwe nacho kwanda kyobe lakini abande bako na Gionse Vocational Training College kora chikosi cha mahoko na abande bagenda urugale na mega nimbwate cheki saraseni chia bana bali bako genda gukora driving school bako move urwa soko genda gose pigi bagende bakora driving chemuno monto na lete chira ngatebe kerenda asura Masige West ko bakora meremu morre tofauti ai sintene nerero ne tofauti ntangani ase wode igento kiriyo koranga ni nduoro abana bako batanga monto yo tita kuchako bagaka nero gato batobisi asabantu bagocha boye basari asabantu bagocha basu mwana yo baremi meri to binde dinge myaka 10 gesman keri county ya Kordaki ya remete seito ga Masige West lakini boniga uskoga na ga sakuru yasaiga egesmanale mororo na na kementre 3.5 million amacharu yasaiga achapake mechi ino erebyo solo toko genda sakuru kunyachenge ebale getare roga ari nyachenge mbabu ata maji na alimrege smororo na na mente 3.5 million amacha yaru sunya chenge atimbukaga ninya bisia akonya abantu baroro mpaka ga nyekera kemo erebyo solo na mangana yon spia go kolekana asenyencho y'ubusani bwane n'umuntu mwangeze sana ukukumu gabana Paul Simba araki nange ko banga ninge minjetiyo korana remeremo te kunyarekana yakorekera ngo jasimole mwantuma ibonko namo denga gabana senje maskani iyo ntungira abantu bakwanirega ugatoke kore nanu musani onare abakwanja most of the things na kwanire kali chigwa just lokolo
Togendrete gutigara samangana yorengete chisemi ni go morokyo munene bwa skuru ya secondary ya St Francis Nyateko yo gotoka Imeye county ya Nyamira aberega kuro kuboria gotia survival kubwatirana na borokya asoko ene kyabuna eskuru yo yabeire kego kina nabage birengo bya chisemi kosuka bosyo gokwana ni go boigabanyiganirie serikali kwene kyabuna nkurigereriere amaganyo yeskuru yo asatere unani go bagwetira makongu ye chingencho au agati yabo okuborwa kwe laboratory okuborwa nyomba chobo chenu na boigo obokongu bwa macha skiriatere buna aborokiwa nigo bago chandika kegi machinga kichomurakera asoko genda kurigia amache ase chindoche
koibisa sukuru endeyonsi gochimbo chiondo wense gukina support nyetakeire ya kifedha abaiboli baito tomatenga ogotaka no bonge goro siyaito lakini rende twale kubaboria amangana fee payments moteme ni chinguru kabisa moto ekibese the right time egena litora ikere kitarget cheito buna twateba niri bune no botambe ngobalia mole nyumake pull up your socks egera tonyole chinguru jo kore gasi na bana baito ndonse simole the youth toko basaba sechingenjo chingia bintu nebinge arobiro madawa ya kulevya na mangana mange ubosasima kanisa ubosasima nyachieni binteka birebyo mwerende korwase amatemu munaya.
We need is our school bus because when we are traveling we will need our bus and about water. We need water because sometimes when there is drought we suffer going to the river to fetch.
No tokorigereria ria bereka gokorekana isko yorogongo ruagusi nigo eke birengerero abigenderete ko bwatokwa ko bwatkana no goitwa kwa bantu achinga ki chokorobekana kwa bago kwene kiwe mense ya Kenya asokwamireria emerobero au ya serikali gatiabo finance bill na boigo ogokonga kubugima umurobero betokora wana basaye bekegori ya Gen Z aseritkoria rero nigo ekiombe kigeteneteri chikwe mense ya Kenya Law Society of Kenya LSK kora wanu mo president wekiombe kyo Faith Odhiambo abagutwara umusangirekano bwogosanga nabo gusangireria ebirengererio korwase abasaye kubwatkana no bosbore naboigo okugania kwabo gwokoenekia buna obwene bwabere bokororokana mbiri byebiga okwana chinga kyecho Faith nigabaga ko gakuru kuborgo cha serikali akwenekia buna ebitambukire bikiranu byabere bikobwatiwa asokoenekia buna abanyanyimbo bonsi gosaba obisabo burendi bali babete bakobwatirana ase ogoita abanainchi babere bako bekwa byara naboigo kwimukirwa egetambukiro kyerichiko.
Many Kenyans died during the struggle for multi-party democracy under Mose's 24-year rule. Abductions, torture and painful deaths did not start with this regime. The police have merely inherited the vice from generation to generation. And we are saying, does it stop in this generation? Does it stop in this generation? Yes. It must end in this generation. No more abductions, no more extrajudicial killings. President Mwai Kibaki presided over the worst tide of killings. We cannot forget about the 2000 and 7, 2008 post-election violence. And we do not ever want to go back there. Uhuru Kenyatta too was no different, because every year the local newspapers reported how many people disappeared mysteriously in the hands of law enforcement agencies. And just when we thought there was a new dawn in this country, new hope, a country where the head of state was brought in the mantra for the young people, a youthful leader, we have seen police disappointing this hope. And we are demanding from the head of state that his promise that there will be no extrajudicial killings in his tenure, in his reign, that he may hold truth to that. At least if for nothing else, let people not die for standing for their beliefs. Let people not be abducted for standing for what they believe is right. And we are still demanding from him to ensure that all those who have been involved are arrested and prosecuted before our courts of law. The civil societies are struggling to put together the data of injured people, both from gunshots, crude weapons, and attempts to follow up on missing persons. We know that there are families that are still reeling in pain and anguish.
Ekegambero ekenene gose ekegambero kia High Court nigo kiabereke gotuguterare omuroberio Social Health Insurance Fund Chief omuroberio omoya bwobocheni mese ya Kenya asekere baterebuna omuroberio yonigo ore mamincha nerichiko kurengana n'abanatie binakuru sekegambero kyo nigo baterebuna eserikali tiyirete chinga kiyaebene gosangireria ebirengererio kurwase abananchi kubwatikana no muroberio yo asiboigo bateruna nigo omuroberio yo obere gokoreta egurube asegati y'abakora imirimo beserekali nigo baire serikali amatuko Eyemo na meronkebere kwene kiabuna nkobengo korabare amaunchererio na kwene kiabuna umuroberio yo nigo obwate aliyaganeirie korengana nerichikori katiba.
The Social Health Insurance Fund Act 2023 constitutes a violation of Articles 201, 205, 2061 of the Constitution. The petitioner contends that the Section 38 of the Act, as currently enacted and significantly amended from the original bill, violates the principles of public finance as enunciated in Article 201 of the Constitution. These guiding principles of public finance encompass openness, accountability, public participation in financial matters, the promotion of an equitable society, the prudent and responsible use of public funds, and clear, responsible financial management and fiscal reporting. The petitioner accuses the National Assembly and Senate of breaching these tenets, first by failing to consult the Commission on Allocation of the Commission on Revenue Allocation, that is the Commission, before enacting the legislation as required under Article 205 of the Constitution. In response to this assertion, the Attorney General cited the case of Association of Gaming Operators Kenya and 41 others versus the Attorney General 2014 EKLR, arguing that the statute cannot be deemed unconstitutional merely because no recommendations were made by the Commission, even if the bill pertains to county governments. This position is reiterated by the CS. On its part, the National Assembly argues that the Commission had no role to play since the funds established under the impugned acts were not established for purposes of revenue sharing between the national and county governments or for financing of county governments. The monies in the funds were to be appropriated by the National Assembly, and as such, the report by the Commission was not required. Article 205, subarticle 1 of the Constitution is categorical on the circumstances where the consultation with the Commission is mandatory. This is when, quote, a bill that includes provisions dealing with the sharing of revenue or any financial matter concerning county governments is published.
Asentire moyo koine kiabuna ebirengo byobochenu byabere bigokiniwa imeyense ya Kenya nigobono ekiombe kia USAID kyaberege gochake bene omuroberio bwo koine kiabuna bokorerio bwo bwenya bwabere bokorwe wasentira entera ere yobwororo anana serikali cheji county nigo omuroberio yo rache gokonya asoko kinebirenko byobobwene otiase abananchi anene asechi county au gatiabo county Isiolo county ya Kakamega Kilifi, Mombasa na Waigo county ya Nakuru.
The closing gaps in devolved health service program, this USAID-funded program, it's actually a 5-year program that is being implemented by the Institute of Economic Affairs together with our 2 partners, Concern Worldwide and Development Initiative. Now, from the title Closing Gaps, as a consortium, we identified 3 key systemic governance issues that affect service delivery. And these 3 issues are not only unique to the 5 counties that I've just mentioned, but they are common across all the 47 counties. The only difference is that they vary in the extent of magnitude. Now, the first issue that is common is obviously the question of inadequate resources, as well as the question of efficiency in health spending. The second issue is weak oversight and accountability, and the third issue is around health policies and legislation.
This program is going to be in a set of counties, as you have seen from the program, and given that they will also be carrying out other programs that are related to the budget that comes from the government, we will be reporting and ensuring that they do not mix. You see, when a program like this comes, it has a specific work plan, but they also have the other.
Togotikana nayo nigo abusaba kagerwa bobusalia bwenibo chinga kyokorobekana kwa bokoenekiwa ase chinsemo OMS ya Kenya anene ime yomochie Eldoret ase nyomba yoko ni ebinywa ya omo boseyomo chumbe Oscar Sudi yababete bagusalia enibo enyinge kegimani gobona bakagerwa babawekiwa bosio bekigambero kya Eldoret tritkolia lero ase nonya nabo baba bako bwatokwa ase bond nonya nabo nigaba Kenya abanke bagenderete kogikerwa ase okokora obosalia nene chinga kichokorobekana korabego koenekiwa imeyensi ya Kenya.
What ought to take into consideration the fact that the accused persons are charged with two counts, one being breaking into a building and committing a felony contrary to section 306A of the Penal Code, the felony being stealing, and that the value of the property was in excess of 78 million. And in the alternative, the accused persons were variously charged with handling stolen goods contrary to section 322, subsection 2 of the Penal Code. And secondly, they were charged with malicious damage to property contrary to section 339, subsection 1 of the Penal Code. The court, having considered the prayers sought by the defense and the response of the prosecution, procedurally ordered for pre-bail reports in respect of each of the 16 accused persons. Finally, I am guided by the High Court decision in Eldoret High Court, E308 of 2024. That is Jonathan Paul Mutua versus ODPP, where Honorable Justice Wananda gave bond terms of 150,000 with an alternative cash bail of 200,000 to an accused person who had been charged with theft of property worth 37 million. The upshot of all the above is that I hereby grant each of the accused persons a bond of 300,000 with an alternative cash bail of 200,000. The fifth accused person is released on a personal bond of 100,000.
Mwanti umulgeri bano oroboti oruo korwase umochi Eldoret me county ya Wasinigishu na robotreta omoirio obwamaya yensa Eyemo senchira ere yubekira nukorende na mange tragendrego kwariganeria ayura chikonyora asenchira yubekira nande chikoraga chinsa isato ekerongo kugano gendre kubwati miroberionsi ya Ndizi TV asensemo ya Facebook otanyarwetra Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube otanyarwetra Ndizi TV News nabaigo ase website yetu naboko yasoma wetra www.ndizitv.net ero togendre gusanga asobwamo ngobakira boss muri bali mugendere togotobwati akorwase chinsemo aho ngambia mono bali mugendere togotobwati chinsemo chemetanda ona barabutingo batiga magega ase nabe kingo bakira ngambia mono akirondo chobuna sensemo ya Facebook gega Algeria kerubo agoteba listening from Manama Bahrain Kingdom Waikanga Kisii County ndobwate Mwangi Joram agoteba nagenderete goto bwati akorasensemo ya Arlington Olentiti Bonfasondari agoteba na turigeri tkorwa se chinsemo chia Kiambu na boigo Justo Omitire korwa Kisi Sports Club agoteba niko ndani abone gatia bari bagendera toto bwatia chinsemo chia Facebook ngomo mwanje murigeri okwarga na ndogendere kubwatia mirobirionsi ya Ndizi TV tomerane chikoraga chinsa isato erietariane Everlyne Osero oria twabwatira na sensemo yimenyeriro ni gakoro kwa Lydia Mose na boigo Petronira mukeira nero ene kya chibicha neryo gicha wikeire asentre yabene